Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times Crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Monday, July 29th, 2024. So, on what's looking like almost the end of July.
Yep.
Of course it is, it's the 29th. Did you do the crossword?
I did.
And was the crossword as obvious as my last remark?
It was a pretty simple solve. It was a good Monday.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
For me, anyway. What about you?
I found it hard to get going because for one across, U.S. Public Health Org, I panicked and wrote FDA.
Okay.
I mean, food and drug, they're doing food, they're doing drugs. That sounds like it's important. I also thought about the National Institute of Health, NIH.
Yes.
But, with FDA, I could at least get two down. The second letter led into Spanish for money, dinero.
That's correct.
But it didn't help with one down, gives the heebie-jeebies without creeps out,
Right.
nor where beers can be found at a tailgate party, cooler.
That's right.
I don't go to a lot of tailgate parties. In fact,
either.
I go to none. And so I thought it was going to have something to do with a keg.
Oh.
No,
not at a tailgate party.
I don't go to tailgate parties. How would I know?
They don't have kegs there. They have coolers with cans and bottles of drinks.
But like a keg is a barrel, right?
Right, but they couldn't drag that typically into a parking lot, and I mean they'd never drink that much beer.
Are you sure?
unless they have one of those clown cars and like 30 people get out of it and then drink it.
or one really, really thirsty person.
So anyway, the answer was CDC.
Yes.
Center for Disease Control.
Right.
There you go.
Actually, I believe the full name is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It should be CDCAP.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which sounds like a cap that's a little bit on the seedy side. So perhaps they don't like that, as that initialism might scare people off. I don't know. But there was a theme.
Yes, there was. It was cute. One other thing to say before we get into the theme is this was a oblong puzzle. It was not totally symmetrical. It's 16 by 14.
See, I think they're trying to average out the aspect ratio because when we had the Olympic flag.
Yes, that was the other way.
Right.
That's right.
And so they're by the end of the week it'll be back to a 1-by-1 ratio for the width to the height.
Maybe tomorrow even.
Perhaps. I wonder if they'd ever consider doing one like really weird, like something that was, like 30 across and 8 high or something like that.
It seems like we had something like that.
Really?
Yeah, a few years back. Not 8 high, but maybe about 10 high.
Boy, I bet.
Yeah, and it was sort of a sentence. The theme clues were a sentence that just kept going on. And
Really?
yeah.
I would imagine that outside New York Times headquarters, the wordplay people would be there with their pitchforks and their torches.
I don't think it was very popular, no.
No.
It was a hard one to solve because it had very long clues.
Do you remember when it was? I would like to look this up.
Boy, no, I don't.
If only there was some sort of resource that could let us look up things like that.
We'll check that out.
Well, yes, I think we will. If we find it, listeners, we will include it in the show notes, of course.
That's right. Anyway, the theme was cute. There were 4 themed clues, and they all had common phrases that have the same word in them twice. So the first one was 16 across, cry from someone who has finally had it, and that was enough is enough. 26 across, sarcastic non-apology, sorry, not sorry, which we just had a few days back. Then we had 48 across, perennial optimist motto, never say never. And finally, 63 across, way to make incremental progress, little by little. So those were the themed clues.
Yep, no revealer.
No revealer.
If you couldn't figure out the theme just by looking at those
That's
4,
right.
you're in trouble.
Pretty obvious, but yep.
Yeah, with enough is enough. I started off with I can't even.
Oh.
Because we've seen that phrase several times recently.
Yes, but you wouldn't have had.
I ran letters. I ran out of letters very quickly, but still sounded pretty good.
No.
And then little by little, because the clue was way to make incremental progress, I had inch by inch, which of course also didn't come close to to filling in those 15 squares that.
I thought step by step, but I didn't even try to put that in because I thought, well, that's not long enough.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I'm usually pretty good at estimating. Something that's just going to fit. I mean, when I say that I was considering inch by inch, I knew inch by inch was not going to work. So I don't want to boast, but I guess I just did. We'll take that out of the podcast. Prepare the editor. Let's see. 4 across I had trouble with. Impressively done as a job. The answer was bang up.
Right.
As in bang up job. Did that come to you? Because you normally try and go across, right?
I do. No, I left that blank. But then when I started the downs, the first one, 4 down, was implore. And I had the E. So I thought, oh, I bet it's beg. And so then that started with a B, and I thought, oh, I bet it's bang up. So it didn't take me too long to get it.
I think that's a British expression. It
Bang
sounds very British.
I don't know.
Did a bang up job. But I had a little trouble there. Although I did sort of pick up speed and steam. Although for 13 across, the 2016 Summer Olympics host informally, I sort of skipped over 2016, figuring that's probably not too important. And so I was trying to come up with 3 letters that would informally describe Paris, France.
Oh.
So first I thought maybe it's going to be fra, or maybe it's going to be pear. And I thought neither of those sound even close to being right.
Why
and
did you think it was going to be France? They're in France this year.
Well, like I said, I ignored the 2016.
Oh.
Just like you ignored my comment about ignoring the 2016, see? It's very easy to do. So I then looked at the clue again and said, oh, 2016. That would be Rio.
That's correct.
So let's see here. Monday Night Football channel is ESPN. Didn't they used to be on, what was it, ABC?
I think so.
Huh.
But not anymore.
ESPN owns it. Let's see. Fuss over one's appearance. Preen.
That's
like
right.
that word.
Yep.
That word needs to be used more often, I think. I don't know where, but the Vini in Vini, Vidi, Vici. So it was 5 letters, and we had a choice of I came, I saw, I conquered. So that was pretty easy. I came.
That's right. It was the first one. So, 18 down. Did you get that right away? Missouri's blank mountains?
Yes.
Ozark.
I did.
We used to live down in Missouri, but not in the Ozark.
No. But a lovely place to visit, and I'm sure a lovely place to live.
Very pretty. Very pretty. One of the old-time favorites we haven't seen for a while, 43 across, pod vegetable and gumbo, okra. That's kind of a common crossword
Right.
word. A lot of Mondays have okra in them. So.
And then we had 43 down, the popular brunch order, omelette.
Right.
And I always get a little bit of trepidation when I see that as it's going to be an answer. I'm like, okay, how do I spell it?
Oh.
But apparently it is OMELET.
Right.
I think there are variants on that. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I've seen it TTE at the end.
Right.
Omelette. I guess that's the French spelling.
And then there's the wrong spelling where you leave out that first E,
That's
omelette.
Right. Omelette.
I mean, that first E isn't doing anything.
It's a silent E.
It's a silent E, yes.
67 across, yes, Cap'n, was I, sir. And just, what, was it just yesterday they had I, or a couple days ago they had
See,
I.
and that's what I put in for this one, because I
too.
thought, oh, it's a cute little echo of the theme,
Yep.
I.
But no, it was I, sir.
Yeah, because 61 down landed on was a lit.
Yes.
And that's pretty much, that's a standard New York Times crossword clue and answer. So I thought it can't be, so I started spelling a lit, ALYT, for a bit. And then decided, no, it can't be I.
Right. Yeah, we had 2 biblical brothers, 59 down. Cain's brother in Genesis was Abel.
Right.
And 62, Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a brother, it's a nephew. Cain's nephew in Genesis was Enos. So we're looking at Cain's family tree there. And his brother was Abel, his nephew was Enos.
Yep.
So,
All right. Well, I think that's probably it for today.
okay.
So not a lot of fireworks in the grid, but still a good, solid effort. The second crossword ever by Jeffrey Lease.
Nice job, Jeffrey.
Indeed. I think worth 5 squares on the Jam CR scale.
Yeah.
The theme was really, really fun.
Yeah. Good Monday puzzle.
Yes, indeed. All right, that is it for today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday, meaning it's going to be Triplet Tuesday. So you'll want to tune in for that.
You bet.
And we will be back again then with that, as well as our cutting-edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.